Bello Nock, you've done so many circus acts over the years, appeared as a daredevil, appeared as a comic. But tell me a little bit about some of the most memorable moments for you.
Tell you the most memorable, obviously the ones in the show making contact with a connection with audience members. Sometimes they could be 8, 10, 12, 14,000 people in a single performance, but making everyone feel like you saw them and they saw you and making a contact. But that's a number that you can count. Something that made a big impact on me was always a drive was doing an outdoor performance that was free for an audience. You never knew how many. It got you in the paper, it got you on the local news, but no one had to buy a ticket to see this, but it was also something that was different than what was standardly prepared to do in the show. So if I did a wire act the year of the show, I wouldn't normally do a wire act out for free. We went to great extents. We hung by a helicopter around the Statue of Liberty in Philadelphia, where my brother picked me up, dropped me off on the roof of the what was the name of the Spectrum, dropped me on the roof, and then picked me up again. And then we did it in Miami. We did wire walks in Miami, in New York City, in Chicago, Dallas, Fort Worth, and we would find buildings, and we'd do it on the off day, and it was a free show. So we went to great lengths, great expenses to do these. Walking over the circus was at the Reliant Stadium, which is at the time the largest arena, and it had a retractable roof, and we did a 500-foot walk across 500 feet in the air over it. Just, again, a lot of sweat, a lot of expense. Only to tell you, one of the biggest impacts of a free PR that we did was a shoe shine event in New York City at Grand Central Station. We thought, how easy would this be? We opened tonight and Madison Square Garden. Let's go down there. Me and about 3 or 4 clowns. We went to get our shoe shine and get the picture. How cool is that? As we were leaving, a young man came up and he said, "Did I miss it?" And we were like, "What do you mean you missed it?" He goes, "Well, I just got here." And we were like, well, we were on our way out. And we said, "No, you didn't miss it. Guys, let's do something." So I
This
pulled
is
out
a photographer.
and he was sweating. You could tell he was young, and we pulled out. We did a couple of just funny. If someone started juggling, I pulled out my little bike and we stood, we did a quick charivari, which just means a whole bunch of happenings, just quick for a minute and a half, just so we had a video, and someone said, "Don't worry, I already put your suitcase in the car, Bello."
And that bike is like what about?
At the time it was the world's smallest bicycle. So one of the PR directors said, "Don't worry, Bill, I put your suitcase in the back of the car." When we got to Madison Square Garden, I went to grab the suitcase and my bike, it's not in the suitcase. Suitcase is only this big and the bike is, it's tiny. Oh my. I said, "Alan Miller, we need to go back right now. I need to find my bike. I need it for the show. It's the world's smallest bicycle at the time. I need it." He goes, "Let me call one of the photographers and see if they see it." The guy said, "No, I don't see it. I left already, but if you don't find it, I'll run a story." And we were like, "I don't want a story. I want my bike back." Well, we told that nice guy that he offered to do that. It was very important to me. It's about 30 years old. It was handmade. There's only one in the world. I said, we'd love to give like a $1,500, $2,000 reward if anybody, a good incentive to bring it back. It became, I'm in a phenomenon in New York City of where's Bello's bike. I even had the New York Times, the New York Daily News, everyone said, "So who stole your bike?" And I said, "Well, okay, wait, there was a press conference. I came up after one of the shows and they said, 'Hey, someone wants to talk to you.' I came under the TV screen, and when I looked up, there was 30 or 40 cameramen blitzing, clamors, paparazzi like you don't believe. And they asked me, who stole your bike? And I was like, okay, no one stole my bike. I set it down to give a nice young man a thing. And he was so thankful. He said, the young man was so grateful because he said, it was my first day, my first job, first duty. And he said, I set it down. We got in the car just in the chaos. It's New York City, opening night tonight, big night. and I don't have my bike. If anybody could help me bring my bike. It was on in every newspaper. Everyone ran the story. It was page 6. We were scheduled to be on Larry King and David Letterman's Tonight Show talking about the thing. Good Morning America and the Today Show
The
had
missing
done a thing.
bicycle was
The
coast to
missing
coast news,
bicycle.
national
And
news.
that there was a reward for it. We might have even upped the thing. It turns out that someone found the bike, and it was a homeless man named Ricky Robinson. And he brought the bike to us. He wanted the wheels that he saw to go on his grocery cart. And so it was, we were very happy we found it, or he brought it back to us in New York City. We gave him the reward. We gave him a bunch of, things. And it was just one of those amazing stories. Now, all of that to say, still now people ask me, did you plan that story? And I go, okay, no. If I would have planned it, I would have, who would leave something that valuable and that loving? I have a picture of my son when he was first born in one hand and my bicycle in the other hand. Who would jeopardize or risk that? So I said, we'll go to great lengths. Not that far, but it was amazing how sometimes you can plan and do these big things, a helicopter over the Statue of Liberty, hanging by your toes, and sometimes losing your bicycle. I have heard of losing your marbles, but I've never been put in the paper or in the news for that.
So you finally found it, and then what happened?
Found it, and I'll tell you, we had like a whole week of a run of news of the picture of me and him, the reward going to him, and what a great story. From there, HarperCollins called me and said, Bello, we want to do a story on you. Wow, I made it. They want to do a story on me. And they said, well, let us make this clear. We want to do a story on your lost bike and how you found your bike. So it was pretty cool.